Hey, Kim, how to keep choosing new self when opposing things in the 3D shows up, like SP saying he's moving in with 3P. As far as when any SP says something to us that sounds like it's the absolute opposite of what we want to experience, like hearing they're moving in with third party. I know that is the last bloody thing we want the person, we're in love with to say to us. However, in that moment, outside of the fear of that person being with the third party, outside of that, okay, outside of the fear of them being with a third party, we already know we don't want that. We got that. But hearing that statement, what does that mean to you? Logically, I'm assuming it means, oh my God, they're choosing someone else. Oh my God, if they move in together, that's forever. They're all logical thoughts based off our conditioning of what happens in 3D reality or what we assume happens, right? So we know that statement, I'm moving in with third party. We know what that's coming from. That's coming from our old, we don't have it anymore. We're new self. Our old belief of not chosen, which is AKA not good enough. We know that. That's all that is. But we also know we don't know the how. We don't know what the unfolding looks like. I'm not telling you to prepare for bad things to happen. That's not at all what I mean. I'm saying we don't have to be afraid of anything that's said to us in 3D. We know that when we're fearing something in the 3D, it's because we're applying logic. This came up in the channel membership today. We're applying logic. When we're upset with what is happening in 3D, we're thinking literal and we're thinking logical. So we're trying to logically interpret 3D. And we don't have to do that. As muggles, as our old selves, muggle version of us, who doesn't know about conscious manifestation, that's how we would maneuver living in the 3D, is by literally accepting what people say to us and then making decisions based off of that. But that's not manifesting. So you don't have to fear your person is going to move in with 3P. You don't have to fear that. That has no bearing on you getting your manifestation. Right? So I'm not teasing you. I don't mean like get over it. I don't mean it like that. I just mean who cares? If you're returning to your decision to be your new self, then you know damn well that even if they did move in together, it ain't going to stay that way. That is not going to be something permanent in your reality. Not if you're choosing new self. We know how this works. 3D reality is dependent on us. 3D reality is reflecting us, right? Now, I'm not saying, oh, because it's your fault, because your SP said that. That's not what I mean. I mean, we know better. We know that no matter what we're experiencing in reality, it has to reflect who we believe we are. So if we hear something in 3D or, like experience something, have a circumstance in 3D that doesn't sound like it's our manifestation, then we know all we have to do is return to our decision and know and understand that whatever the circumstance or condition is, it's leading to you getting what you want. We don't have to pretend to like things in the 3D. We don't have to love that idea of those two moving in together. But it's not an obstacle to you. It's only an obstacle to your manifestation if you're believing that from logic. So return to your decision. This is not a threat to you. It just isn't. It means nothing. It's a reflection of your old fear. So if you responded to it in 3D or reacted, or if you're triggered right now, what does that mean? You're at your most powerful moment, right? Like yesterday's video, you're at your most powerful moment. Return to your decision. That circumstance is really, truthfully, so unimportant that Poop is literally snoring over it right now. She's snoring to it. She's like, Ollie, you have nothing to worry about. You just have to return to your decision. Reality can't ignore you. 3D reality can't ignore your decision of who you are, because 3D reality is you. It's your reflection. So return. That's the answer, truthfully. I said this earlier. That is the answer to every single manifestation question. Whenever we are afraid of something, whenever we're experiencing something we don't like in reality, hey, return to your decision, nothing to concern yourself with. Nothing. There are no true obstacles. We are conditioned to believe there are obstacles to things. But that's our old logical, literal conditioning. It's not our new self-truth. We have been conditioned, I said earlier, on how to maneuver 3D. We've been conditioned to believe that the reality sitting around us is it. This is it. This is just life. Reality is real. Well, yeah, reality is real, but so are infinite realities. So are infinite versions of ourselves. Or look at it as so is the answer to every possible question, every possible outcome. They all exist, and they all exist now. I'm going to say this is why you see, and if you don't see, let me tell you, because we hear it in the group all the time, the Tuesday group, the Zhuzh group, that whenever someone stands back into conviction of their decision, when they return to that decision with conviction, like they just know it, something changes. Something changes out here. You hear it time and time again. It's because reality is reflecting you. So when you make a decision to be your new self, if reality still looks the same, stand in your decision. Stand. And the moment you make that decision, you get to comfortably know that if reality still looks exactly the same, there's nothing wrong. It's clearly a part of your outcome or the unfolding to your outcome. It clearly is. We have had countless examples in the Zhuzh group on Tuesdays, especially over the last few weeks. It's like on fire of really awesome but detailed orchestrations of people having what looks like a really shitty circumstance or an inconvenient circumstance that ended up leading to exactly what they were manifesting. We've been hearing about that literally off the chain in the group, which those are my favorite things. I love hearing about the orchestrations. I love hearing about the unfoldings, right? I know a lot of times when we think of successes, we only think about the manifestation itself. I love hearing about the unfolding, because it just shows you that a lot of the times that you're worried or upset and wanting to push back against reality, that whatever is you were scared of, whatever the thing is that you want to push out of the way, is the thing that was leading you to the outcome all along. You know, I've said before, I didn't think breakups were going to lead me to my manifestation, but they did. They did. And I'm definitely not saying that, you got to learn lessons. The universe is testing you. You got to learn your lesson. No, but in hindsight, I do know that if one of those breakups didn't happen, I don't know when I would have finally understood states of consciousness. Now, I'm not saying that a breakup had to happen for me to reread everything, Neville. But because I was in a victim state and manifested the breakup, God, universe, whatever you believe in, still took my fuck up. This is why I believe you cannot mess up your manifestations. Thank you very much. This is the exact reason why. Because I was in a victim state all the time, for what it's worth, and manifested 2 breakups. The first breakup only lasted 3 fucking days. Clearly, I didn't get anything out of that one. But that second one, it was a manifestation of my victim state that I am telling you authentically, I was always in a victim state because I didn't understand states of consciousness. But when that breakup happened and I was in total terror mode, like, what the fuck? This isn't what I'm manifesting. Why did this happen? This doesn't make sense. It made total sense. It was who I was being all the time. So it was my fuck up that the breakup happened. But I don't blame myself from that perspective. I'm just giving you the example of reality was reflecting exactly who I was being, but guess what? Because I chose not to give up on my manifestation, I instead decided to go back and reread Neville all over again. And thankfully, that was the time it finally clicked what Neville was talking about regarding states of consciousness. So universe, God, subconscious mind took my fuckery manifestation of a breakup and still took me in the direction to my outcome. Hence why I don't think you can fuck up anything so long as you are returning to your decision to be new self. And by me saying it, so long as, I'm just saying that's the idea to manifest, is you are choosing to be the you that has it. But universe, God, higher power, source energy, moonbeams, your subconscious mind, whatever you believe in, takes you from where you are and brings you where you need to be. There is never anything to fear. Really, never. So SP is saying something stupid, like they might move in with 3P. Okay, have fun at that. Have fun with that, bitch. Because I'm going to be over here deciding that I am the version of myself in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship with you. So good luck with that. That's not going to last long, unfortunately for you. Because you're going to get over here and love me. Because that's who I'm choosing to be. See what I mean? Ollie, you've got nothing to fear. Okay? Hopefully that made you feel better.